Hey, welcome back. It is the second day of Chrysler's of Carlisle. We'll edit that out. Hey, welcome back. It's the second week. Edit that out. Okay. Hey, welcome back. It's the second day of Chrysler's of Carlisle 2025. It is July 12th, and we are in a heat wave of very humid, very hot days. But there are 3,188 Mopars here today, was the final count. Give or take, probably ones that are tucked around elsewhere, but that's what registered for the show. So we're gonna take a walk around and you will not believe some of the things that we've seen. We're gonna start off today with one of the coolest vehicles that Chrysler ever built, 1963 Chrysler turbines. They built 50 of these cars for customer trials. Everybody got them for 6 months over the course of 2 years. And at the end of them, they were supposed to be destroyed, but fortunately a few were tucked away. Chrysler Historical has a couple, I believe, and Jay Leno managed to acquire one, which is pretty impressive. They actually use a turbine motor, which can run on a variety of fuels. And are not the traditional piston engines. Pardon me. The 63 was not the first turbine that Chrysler built, but it was the first time they actually put the cars out on the road in the hands of consumers. They started as early as the late 50s, I remember, for certain vehicles that they had tested with those motors. Inside, you can see the turbine theme if you look towards the back seat, and the tunnel that continues with like turbine fin design. The styling of this vehicle, if you look at it just in general, had the look of what the Chryslers to come. 5-6 years later, the styling from this car was actually still pretty revolutionary at the time this was designed. But the styling cues and everything carried over to the newer cars. Now, Zachary, if they were to build this as a new Chrysler, would you think it is a performance car, a luxury car, or both?
It looks like a luxury car. It doesn't seem that performance or it reminds me of a Rolls Royce or something.
Bugatti, maybe? Like with the styles, the way the fender design and the kind of teardrop windows remind you of early Bugattis?
It just reminds me of a very, very high-end luxury car.
Okay. And the wheels look massive, but are only 21 inch front, 22 inch rear. This is the, as you can see there, 1995 Chrysler Atlantic concept car. I think it still would be considered fairly advanced today. Is that am I seeing that? Is that actually a split window? The seam down the roof, it appears that there's a split windshield. Okay, we'll take a walk over to the next concept car here. Ooh, now when I think, holy cow, visibility, I think there's a bit of a glare on the screen, but that is glass from the middle of the hood all the way to the rear. The 2024 Chrysler Halcyon concept. This actually, with a few small changes, I can see this being a production vehicle. What about you, Z?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It looks like one of the new Priuses.
New Prius? Okay. Yeah, it kind of has something along those lines of the styling.
Here's what it reminds me of, especially the sides.
It reminds, okay.
See,
and
like,
Zachary's looking at the...
you can see this styling here,
yes.
like there.
With the very long swooping fenders. Yes,
Yeah.
there's very, very much following those cues. Turning around here. See a 48 Chrysler Town and Country. Now this wood was not just ornamental. It was not a applique of 70s plastic wood grain vinyl. I mean, this is the doors and structural components of the cars are made out of wood. Steam bent birch, I think. Although, if I'm wrong, check me in the comments on that. Mahogany? Okay. But it's all steam bent and formed to make some structural components of the car. It was important. Important is early days. A lot of car components were made out of wood, and also when during the era where steel was limited due to the war production, being able to make some things out of wood helped along the production front. Moving into some rather revolutionary vehicles at the time, the Chrysler Airflow. If you look almost like a kind of Volkswagen-y front end, has a very different, you see the integrated headlights, that the hood and fender are more like on a modern car instead of, as you would see here, the folding front with the separated headlights and everything. This type of design did not do well at first, although it did set the styling trend. Within a few years, all the manufacturers had switched to this kind of style. It was also insanely strong. There's some famous ads of the time where they would roll these things down a cliff, and they would hold together, and they'd flip it over and continue driving. Much stronger than the cars of the time, as mentioned earlier. A lot of those components were made out of wood. They didn't handle being rolled over all that well. Wow, look at the elegance of that, huh? This is definitely what would be nice to be shuttled to work in that, don't you think? And through the custom coach builder era and into some of these amazing early Imperials into an Imperial limousine. A little bit of a crowd around it. But I believe this was Walter P. Chrysler's personal Chrysler limousine. Through another wood body into this amazing 55 Crown Imperial limo. I think this style, actually, as a limo today, this would still be classic. It's just a very timeless design.
Oh, no, that might be a 64.
In the 60s, we start to see a lot of interesting tire designs too, with the white walls getting narrower. You even had red walls. This one has three symmetrical rings, all the same width, moving on to this crown where there's two wide, one narrow. Although, Zachary, I think if I was to pick any car here, it would be this New Yorker. That color is just, I hope it comes through on the video as well as it does in person. It's just an amazing, bright but sedate blue. Beautiful color. It screams summer. Now, this exhibit is for the 100 years of Chrysler. And back in that era, the manufacturers were very interrelated. Different people that started companies, worked for other companies, moved from one to another. It seemed, when you do the history, that it seemed like the same 50 people moved around, innovated, and started so many different companies that it was such a small group that did so much and to set our automotive style and engineering. Dan's beautiful 59 Plymouth. And DeSoto is kind of a legendary name now, and some people even kind of look at it with a snicker, and it sounds funny, but it was just a mid-level car. It was the equivalent of a Pontiac, or, well, Oldsmobile or Pontiac, Buick, maybe more Buick, Mercury. It was a slightly upscale. But it was a wonderful car of the era, which was basically, still just a Chrysler. These Ram inductions, there's as you can see, a carburetor on each side, which gave a lot of space for the air and fuel to mix, and supposedly helped with combustion. Had this 60 Imperial limousine here. Another beautiful, stately car. Looks almost presidential. It doesn't look presidential to you, would you say?
Yes.
Yes. Definitely captain of industry type. We'll swing down through a handful of remaining. Going back to some of the earliest, Dodge brothers were pulled into Chrysler. The Dodge brothers actually were a couple of engineering geniuses that were Ford employees that left to start their own company. Later became a massively important part of the Chrysler heritage. Coming up, we have Marvin Merv Afflerbach's amazing 59 Dodge convertible. D500, which is a special performance version. The 59 Dodge, a lot of people have the opinion that it's one of the few cars that scowls at you. It always looks a bit angry, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you doing? Everything under control.
Oh, right-hand drive. This Australian body 1935 Dodge DU. Okay, we're going to swing back outside and across the street and take a look at all the other amazing things that we can find out there. You would not believe some of the things that we found. It is about 3,000 degrees here in Carlisle. Perfect day to be driving this beautiful black Charger. It does have air conditioning. Charger, as you know, of course, is the star of that famous TV show of the 80s, Knight Rider. No, just kidding. You don't have to attack me in the comments. Dukes of Hazzard, of course. There are a separate category here for TV and movie cars with a lot of General Lee's and Hazard County Sheriff cars. Usually some Christines, some Vanishing Point Cudas. Was it Challenger or Cuda? Vanishing Point. Oh, I like your shoes, buddy.
That's Hemi. Of course, his name is Hemi. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great, man. It's great. It's great to see.
What a good boy.
That's great.
It's so cold.
He's walking like he has to go.
Yeah, it's quite hot.
Oh yeah. Well, I mentioned that to someone the other day too. I'm like, walk on the grass with your dog when you can. Here is this pavement is hot, and although dogs with shoes is not what nature intended, I guess neither is asphalt. But those poor pups are scorching on this pavement. So just trying to help them out. Some beautiful Roadrunners here. Actually, I like the orange flake on this one. Very much catches the light. So you can see, that's all the same color paint. But the way the sun hits it accentuates every line. Really brings it out. What do you say we swing through to the next row here, Zach? So Zachary, one of your teachers is probably in attendance too, is that correct?
I don't know. I don't know who's coming this year. But he was here last year, so it could be.
So what do you think? Down this row or down to take a look at some of the earlier cars?
He would be in the Survivors tent.
In the Survivors, okay.
He wasn't in there, so I doubt it. The car that he brought last year was in there.
Okay. Some of the earlier Chargers with the greenhouse back window. Well, probably about a quarter of the folks have dropped out already today. This was packed. I just don't think at this time of day is about 3 o'clock, I think. It is hot. I think a lot of people are just kind of hit the wall. And when you talk about funky front ends on cars, you don't get too much funkier than that. Awesome, but funky. There's those heavily shouldered haunches there. Again, like the Valiant. They seem to carry that theme for a bit, and there's no one else really quite like that exactly.
been down this road.
Guys, what
Yes,
should we
I
hit
remember
next?
the Acme plate.
Yes. What do you think we should hit here? Just spin across through the Midway, maybe see the General Lee jump car, and
Go to the modern productions,
Okay.
the newer stuff on the hill.
oh, that's right. There is some stuff up on the hill, hot as it is. We need to go up there to show you. So while we walk through traffic here, we're just going to hit pause, and we'll be right back. We've taken a walk up to the top of the hill where you see one of the overviews here of the whole field. Starting on this side where you see the building off in the distance with Carlisle on it, that's the center of the car corral. This whole distance that you see, everything in front of this grandstand is car show field. And it's about double this size on this hill or behind us on this hill that we're standing on. Everything behind the grandstand is all a Mopar swap meet. And we'll take a walk over here. We'll see some of the Chrysler vehicles that you do not see at our local cruises or local cruise near you. One that is absolutely kind of amazing is really built like a real tank, because it's a real tank. This is part of the Chrysler Arsenal of Democracy display, which showcases some of Chrysler's contributions to the World War II production. All the manufacturers at the time switched over from civilian production over into producing tanks, planes, boats, trucks, trailers, everything you can think of for the American Armed Services. And this one, I believe this is one of those tanks, but they needed to develop a tank engine rather quickly. And their solution was to take 5 Chrysler inline 6s and arrange them on a common drive shaft in a radial configuration. It was rapid to get that out into production because they already had the tooling. It had already been tested, and it had the side effect of, or the side bonus of, most of the people working on these tanks were already familiar with a basic inline 6 American engine, and made tuning and work in the field quite a bit easier for folks. One of the other parts here we'll see is the Chrysler air raid siren. I grew up in a community that had one of these for the volunteer firemen to call the volunteer fire staff and they would test it every day at noon as well. It uses a Chrysler industrial Hemi to turn the siren, and the one in my community was on a large pole, and it also rotated as it blared. They've been cranking this up each day for a few free rounds, and from my understanding, they're not allowed to turn up to full blast because it's way too loud. In addition, they've been firing the cannon on the tank after the national anthem each morning. Air raid siren and a tank. We'll take a walk back down the hill.
Sure.
Or we'll swing over this way and get a look down over the hill. We, of course, like the third time this weekend, the phone overheated and lost a portion of the footage we're working on. We took a walk through the modern Mopar section and through the line of crowd waiting to get out. There was another entrance and exit on this corner near the top of the hill that allowed the traffic to come and go via 2 points instead of 1. Now everybody coming and going is limited by 1 light onto a surface street on the side here. But as you can see down over the hill, this is a lot of a lot of Challengers. Almost everything you can see here is a Challenger. I mean, can you see that? How many rows is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 rows of Challengers, and probably an equal amount of Chargers going up the hill. Now, some folks are definitely anti-new vehicle at the shows, but with Mopar especially here, there's a very loyal fan base that not only collects the older vehicles, but certainly loves to modify the new vehicles. We'll also see in this section, Jeep was part of the American Motors purchase Chrysler made in the 1980s, and has been a huge part of the Chrysler brand ever since. Zach, do we comment on ducks and stuff now, or?
On with the Jeep ducks?
Jeep ducks, yeah.
Yeah, there are a few people selling them. Swap meet.
Do you suppose there's like ducks and no ducks factions of the Jeep community?
I don't know why anyone would oppose the ducks. Like, honestly.
There are many, many ducks. Skeletor duck there, apparently, too. Okay, well, I think I'm getting to that point where this is a fairly steep hill that I will try not to roll down. Good idea. Okay. We'll zig through here. Let's see what else I can see from here. We have PT Cruisers. Declining in popularity a little bit. At one point when they were first introduced, there were well over 200 brand new PT Cruisers that showed up here. There was a fanatical following for them. You don't see as many today. There's also the Chrysler Town & Country by Maserati. Has a very, very loyal following. Several of those over in that section. So the sections and the layout of the sections does change from year to year. Where you see the vehicles one year may be different than the next. It may be far away. It may be a little bit of movement. The one set of vehicles that will not have their time up on the hill is the vehicles from earlier than 1962, 61, 62. Those are vehicles that did not have park on their automatic transmissions. Not good to park those on the hill, and most folks that have those cars park them in their garages, their driveways, car shows. Do not carry chocks with them. Makes it kind of dangerous to have them on the hill. We're taking a walk down through some of these vehicles. The fuselage styling of these vehicles is pretty impressive. Stretching nearly 20 feet. You don't miss them in traffic. They're quite an imposing presence. we have seen a few Vipers here. Not a large Viper section. I think we missed part of it, or is it just perhaps a low turnout this year? Normally there's quite a good number. This is also the 30th anniversary of the Dodge and Plymouth Neon. To a lot of car folks, these would be seen almost maybe as like a Honda Civic or something as well, but they did have quite a performance heritage with the SRT4. I mean, they were not a slow car, and they have a fanatical following. Actually, the second generation Neon site 2gn.org is one of the largest groups here year by year, bringing well over 200 cars each year. Chrysler, as a manufacturer, is also very, very involved in the heritage and the shows for the Chrysler community here at Carlisle. Almost always have a display, have something, and have representation. Everyone from designer Ralph Gilles to the new head of Stellantis, who spoke at the grandstand yesterday and was very well received in her talk of how they have revived SRT, their performance division, how they will be developing new small cars for Chrysler, which may fill the niche that the Neon had. It filled at one point. And generally overall positive about the future of the company and what the performance heritage of Dodge, the truck heritage of Ram, the off-road lifestyle of Jeep will continue and expand in the future. Now, Zach, here's a unusual car. You know perhaps about this one and what makes it unique, this truck?
Well, something with the taillights, maybe?
Well, the badge.
The Viper truck, yes.
Yes. Yeah, this is basically a Dodge truck that has been fitted from the factory with a Viper V10 engine. These are quite the amazing performance truck. And still, the ones I've seen have been very affordable. I think they are right on the edge of becoming a high dollar collectible truck. Maybe just a few more years before they start skyrocketing in value. Now, interesting about these early Vipers, no door handles, no windows. These little tabs on there were for some clip-in windows that would go on if you needed them. Very much a street legal race car, and barely street legal at that. Not well equipped, the original ones. I don't think you could even get air conditioning in the original ones. Is that right, Zach?
More objective, no.
I think you weren't even able to get that. It's a track car, and they were not built with fancy burl leather burl dash and wood. They were built to go out and perform and to be light and fast. Yeah, Carlisle always seems to have a threat of rain with the positioning near the mountains, as well as the fact that, did it reach 3,500 degrees out here yet?
It's reached like 89, I think.
Yeah, and 100% humidity. I think at this point the ability to the potential of rain is any given second. This is the Chrysler Midway, the Stow and Go Challenge.
What is this?
Well, I imagine, I'm guessing here, but they probably will come by and tell us, but I think you take all of this stuff and manage to fit it in there with plenty of room to spare inside of the stowing compartments that's there. As I think many folks know, the seats can fold into a stowage compartment underneath the floor, giving you a perfectly flat, very or close to perfectly flat, level floor, as well as when you're not folding them down, you can easily use them for storage.
Vipers.
Some more Vipers? Let's take a look. Oh, sorry. The famous Viper Maserati V10. Each iteration more powerful than the one before. Amazing lightweight, high-powered engines. When did they start? At 500 and went to 800 horsepower in the ACR, maybe? Somewhere in there.
I thought it was a bit lower. I thought it was
Okay.
like I think it was in the 300s, but it's just the car's so light that it was really. Let me check. You want the first here?
Sure. Yeah, Viper experts, let us know in the comments. I am not going to be 100% right all the time. I'm not probably even going to be 80% right all the time, but...
Okay, exactly 400.
Oh, exactly 400 up to...
8-liter V10. That's the first year.
Okay.
And then highest was
It was originally supposed to be.
Now, over the course of its production, from I think 94 up to 2018ish, there were 3 different logos involved.
645 horsepower.
Up to 645 horsepower. Okay. My favorite of these mascots is this one, referred to as Sneaky Pete. I think it's just the sly look is better, in my opinion, than some of the later ones, where it changed the next one, where it was Fang, where it's a head-on view with the teeth. I don't see any of those here to compare, but there were 3 different logos that were used, or 3 different mascots used over time.
So that's 3,300 horsepower.
Okay, Zach is pulling up a 3,300 horsepower. I don't know if we can see that. There's a lot of glare. 3,300 horsepower Viper. That's crazy. Also part of this this era, the 80s, they had a lot of restrictions: fuel economy, emissions, corporate average fuel economy, new safety regulations, consumer preferences. Everything kind of choked the heck out of the performance potential of the cars, but they did still have vehicles, especially ones that were kind of warmed over by Carroll Shelby. Anybody knows Carroll Shelby knows his the magic he can do with these cars. Everything from the Shelby Cobra to the GT40, Shelby Mustangs. During this era, he also developed some pretty impressive vehicles. There's the Shelby GLH, which is I commonly joke that the GLH stands for Goes Like Hell, and the GLHS, it goes like hell Shelby. most of this performance during this time was achieved by turbos instead of displacement. Basically, the more air you cram into the engine has a similar effect to increasing the size of the engine. ...2025 also marks the 55th anniversary of the TA CUDA. There's a special display of all TA CUDAs. And some incredible examples. Okay, well, we got a little bit of a drizzle here, which is cooling everything down, but it is causing everybody to scramble, put up windows, close hoods, put up convertible tops. So we're gonna take a walk over and close up Zachary's car, and we'll be back. Now, yes, the cars can get wet. Yes, you do get them wet when you wash them. Yes, they do get wet when you drove them, but still, everybody's got out chairs and tents and supplies and everything else as well. Not many people are not interested in getting run over by a car, but not everybody's interested in getting drenched. Although after how hot it's been today, I will certainly say that a bit of a cool down will be very welcome. Remember I mentioned how since gate 5 is closed, there's quite a bit of a traffic jam. Past that stone building, way in the distance, is the light. That's the line to get out. And it goes quite a bit back. As well as everyone up on the hill is also in that line, trying to escape. Okay, that's gonna about wrap it up for Chrysler's at Carlisle, or the Chrysler Carlisle Nationals 2025. Thanks again for watching. We would love to have you subscribe, ring the notification bell. You'll see all our new videos as they come live, and a like on the video does a big help with YouTube. So thanks again for watching. Take care.